a long time ago. I think when I first got involved in music, it was through the sound system in the UK. We had like a sound system and used to play it at parties and at the carnival events and stuff like that. So that was my first kind of introduction into music. It was really as a DJ or a selector before I actually started making music.
Soul music, that's what I grew up with. But in those days I had no ambition to make records or anything like that. And it wasn't until I started collecting records, when I got into collecting music, that the opportunity came for me to end up making music. I got invited to be on a pirate radio station in London, and that's where I met Marc and Gus and Ian. And Gus was producing for a hip-hop band at the time. And because I had a lot of old records and breakbeats and stuff like that, they asked me to come to the studio and stuff and mess around.
I mean, my influences they go much further back than say broken beat or techno or even hip hop. It starts from really early days of growing up listening to soul music from my mum. My mum was very heavy into like Atlantic soul, like Otis Redding and Aretha Franklin. And on my father's side, he was collecting Bob Marley and John Houghton, reggae artists. So that was my first fusion. Because my mum was more of a sort of soul head, and my dad was more into reggae. But so that's my very early influences.
My time was the ska revival. So we had groups like the Specials and the Beat, and before that, the Clash as well. That was kind of like what all my circle of friends were into. And then after that, hip hop came along, and that just went elsewhere. And that's how I got into old music from the jazz that they sampled in hip hop. Got into old music from that, and got into your more electro-y and Detroit techno-y vibe, due to in the early days of hip hop, when they used to sample Kraftwerk and stuff like that. So you got into other hip hop, kind of like helped me to get into lots of different types of music, due to what the DJs were cutting up and producers were sampling. So the range of music was influenced by it at that time was quite vast.
I think the next sort of biggest thing that I really got into, that really kind of like sort of blew my mind, was hip hop, electro, like Africa Bambaataa, Planet Rock, and that's what really sort of exploded for me. And since then I've always been following hip hop and that form of electronic music with drum machines and things like that. Even if it's techno or house or whatever, I was really just kind of like infatuated with electronic music starting from that era, from Kraftwerk and Soul Sonic Force.